So we're here on Guinea Neck where I'm standing right in the intertidal zone. So this area is very active wetland, gets flooded a lot, and it's also a beautiful, beautiful place to be, which is why some people are building houses way out here in the marsh, where other people, you can see some of these houses off to that side, are probably people who've lived here for a long time. So you've got a lot of people living along the shoreline in these marshes, and the challenge is going to be, as sea level rises, what are we going to do about the houses that are along these roads? The localities are not, and the state are not going to want to maintain the roads after a certain time, so are those folks going to be left stranded back there? You can see the income disparity. There's one very large house that's expensive and a number of smaller houses from people who've probably lived here for a long time. Are they all going to be able to get out of the way in time? There's a lot of issues that you see when you begin to wander around the shoreline and into these marshes. Guinea Neck also has had a pretty vigorous seafood industry, and the connection between wetlands and seafood is direct. The wetlands provide habitat, they provide places for juvenile fish to hang out. If it weren't for wetlands, we wouldn't have a seafood industry. So the economy in these coastal areas is directly linked to the wetlands. Something like 90–95% of the commercial fish and sport fish in Virginia spend part of their lives in the wetlands. And so without wetlands, you get no seafood, you get no jobs.
Here we are in Gloucester County, Virginia, and I want to talk a little bit about what the value of wetlands are to a community. We've talked about the economic value of wetlands, we've talked about the flood reduction values of wetlands, we've talked about the wonderful ecosystem services for all the critters that inhabit the wetlands. But now I want to talk about the benefits to people, the direct economic financial benefits to the people of Gloucester County for the wetlands that you see around me and behind me today. So Gloucester County participates in the National Flood Insurance Program's Community Rating System program, or the CRS program. The CRS program is a voluntary program that's available to all communities that participate in the NFIP. And the CRS program awards communities with points for things that they do to reduce the impacts of flooding within the community. Those points then translate to flood insurance premium discounts. So basically, policyholders in Gloucester County at the bottom of their flood insurance bill get a percentage off of their total bill. And that percentage is directly based on how much the county's doing to reduce flooding in the community. One of the biggest credit earning activities in the CRS program is open space preservation. It's how much space that's in the highest risk flood zones of the community looks like this, is open, no development, and the open and free of development land is actually helping the National Flood Insurance Program because there are no structures here that it needs to worry about insuring. So the wetlands in Virginia, because they're protected through the Tidal Wetlands Act, are protected on its face. And as long as the community is doing what it needs to do to ensure that development isn't occurring in the wetlands, then that community in Virginia can submit the wetland acreage that's in those high-risk flood zones for credit in the CRS program. So the community of Gloucester is getting points for all of the wetland land that you see here. There are islands that are behind us in the river that are protected. The Nature Conservancy owns some wetlands, some kind of tidal islands out here that they protect. And all of those tidal wetlands and the acreage of those tidal wetlands are going into the community rating system score for Gloucester County. And then residents of Gloucester County are getting those discounts on their flood insurance premiums. The CRS program is a way that communities can monetize wetlands in their community. And this is good news for Wetlands Watch because it's one more way that we can encourage communities to protect the wetlands that exist today and hopefully create spaces for the wetlands to go tomorrow and into the future.